Hello, everyone. It's Charlton. Please subscribe to my channel and tap the notification bell. I'd appreciate it majorly. So, I just want to take a look at this again. Vanessa Guillen, missing soldier from Fort Hood, Texas, which actually I forgot. I think it's in between Dallas and Houston. I want to say in Killeen, Texas, Central Texas. Anyways, she's been missing since April 22nd. So for basically 2 months, April into March, March into June. It's June 14th. And but recently, a famous celebrity actress who I believe is of Mexican descent, Salma Hayek, I think is how you pronounce it, posted a picture of her on her Instagram account, and actually she promised to post the picture of her and trying to bring more awareness to it, and promised to put a picture of her account on her Facebook, or rather Instagram account, until she comes home. And it's interesting as I was looking through this. Austin. I meant to say Austin, not Houston. She's from Houston. Okay, so it's in between Dallas and Austin. It is Central Texas in Killeen. When I was just looking to sort of re-educate myself again, I looked into this some when I made my first 2 videos about it, and then I didn't make anything since. I noticed an article out there from the mother, and I hadn't heard from the mother, or I stopped looking into it, and when it was a brand new, fresh story, you mostly were hearing from her friends and her sister Maya. Was conducting most of the efforts to, bring as much public awareness to it, talking to authorities. She went from Houston up to Killeen, spent some days there. I don't know if she's still there. This is 2 months later now. So, but I saw in a story that her mother basically says that she had a phone this is where it started. Vanessa's mother, Gloria Guillen, has told media that her daughter claimed she was being sexually harassed inside the military base by a sergeant. She also said someone from inside the base told her that her daughter had been kidnapped. So, and a little bit more detailed explanation of that is right here. And the interesting thing is, that Salma Hayek, who, posted a picture of her on her Instagram account 2 days ago and promised to do that every day until she's found or comes home, she believes that, actually. And that was part of her first post, which is right here, bring back Vanessa. I assume that's basically bring back Vanessa in Spanish. And it says U.S. Army soldier Vanessa Guillen, 20, has been missing since April 22nd, last seen at the Fort Hood military base. Her mother, Gloria, claims she had complained to her about a sergeant sexually harassing her. When her mother advised her to report him, Vanessa said other women had reported him and they were not believed. Vanessa and Gloria, I believe you, and I pledge to put Vanessa's photo on my stories every day until she is found. So, and like I said, a little bit more detailed explanation of her mother's account, because she had a phone conversation, according to the mom, just prior to her going missing. I believe the very day before she went missing, and she went missing in the middle of the day. I think the last time she was seen at 1 o'clock in the parking lot of one of the base facilities nearby where she was working that day, the armory room. And in the armory room was her wallet, her base ID, her car keys, a couple other items, that she had left behind. So, it definitely appears that whatever happened to her, it involved somebody that was known to her, and that's what it seems. Her phone, was not at her workstation. Her phone was with her person, and it's very likely that whoever had anything to do with her disappearance, has her phone, or and I want to talk about that very quickly. And I talked about it in my first videos. Was about her Twitter account tweeting things, a couple days after she went missing, which, that could have been family members that had access to her account, and had just done that initially to just get as much reach as possible and used her account in addition to their own, a boyfriend, the sister. That's possible too. But I don't think so, But I could be wrong about that, but we'll take a very quick look at it. But the mom's account of the conversation before she went missing, the mom spoke about corruption and said someone inside said her daughter was kidnapped. Let's back up a bit. Her mom shared the details of the phone call she had with her daughter. Her mom tearfully shared the story of a phone call she said she had with her daughter prior to her disappearance, in which Vanessa claimed she was being harassed by one of the sergeants at the military base. Her mom told her to report him. Mom, quote, "Mom, others have reported him, but they don't believe them," the mom claims her daughter said, and then asked her not to get involved for fear that she would be retaliated against. I'm not sure if it says it was the day before she went missing that they had that phone conversation or not. They are concerned about the soldier's well-being after her mom says the daughter claims she was being sexually harassed inside the military base by a sergeant. They don't necessarily pin down an exact time. It was just prior to her going missing. The mom spoke about the corruption and said someone inside said her daughter was kidnapped. The mom shared a conversation she had with a sergeant about her daughter's disappearance. A sergeant talked to me anonymously, and I can't say his name because he said, "If you say it, they'll kill me." He said they kidnapped your daughter inside, and the corruption is horrible, and there's tunnels. She is asking for the situation to be investigated and is looking for a lawyer to help her case. That part's obviously a little harder to digest than the account of her being sexually harassed by a sergeant that her daughter spoke to her about, and said that other women had complained and they were basically weren't believed. So, I mean, I don't know, I mean, that's a pretty serious allegation, and the person is saying it anonymously, and he's saying, the problem I have with that is how he basically terms it as they, a sergeant talked to me anonymously, and I can't say his name because he said, "If you say it, they'll kill me." They kidnapped your daughter inside. A group of people kidnapped her daughter inside. So I don't know. I mean, that kind of spreads it out that it's not some person who's trying to protect his own personal career, one individual, but it's multiple people, and that I have a harder time believing. It almost makes me suspect this person who had this conversation with her that is the person who's trying to protect his own career and is just making this story up. So, but I don't know. I don't know if the daughter named the sergeant to the mother that was, supposedly sexually harassing her, and that other girls, female soldiers had complained about but weren't believed. I don't know. So, but in my previous video, I did, as I mentioned, I was a little perplexed that her own Twitter account had tweets on it on the 24th, and they're about her, missing, that somebody had retweeted, I mean, she obviously didn't do that herself, from the account. And again, this could have been a family member or a boyfriend that had access to her account and just did it, like I described, to get as much reach as possible. But they didn't do it ever again. Maybe they were informed by law enforcement not to do that, possibly. It's very possible. But to me, it looked like somebody was intentionally trying to, direct attention to or suspicion to the boyfriend, because he basically retweeted what was on the boyfriend's account, and he actually retweeted the boyfriend first, and then two other tweets that are in the exact same order that were retweeted on the boyfriend's account. And these two tweets actually aren't in chronological order. This one actually came later in time, or rather, actually, let me see. This was 12/19, April 24th, and this one, and this is the sister, which was 12/03. So that actually makes sense. That's in chronological order. But the boyfriend, he tweeted this at 1 in the morning that same day. But Vanessa retweeted him first before the other two. His came later. It's not terribly important. But on the boyfriend's account, this is, because it's his own account, he tweeted this before he retweeted the other two. But it's like, he went to the boyfriend's account. He retweeted the boyfriend first. Then he scrolled down to where it starts with Vanessa tweets, and he just went in order and went up from there. Doesn't matter. But, I just found that to be, that could have been the perpetrator who has her phone, and basically just did that right from her phone, and that still could be the case. But it just, to me, it indicates that, one, it's somebody that's, definitely known to her, has a relationship of some kind with her, good or bad, and looked like he was trying to intentionally incriminate the boyfriend. That's what it looked like. And the other thing, very quickly, before I end this, and I've sort of just rambled on and on, but nonetheless, that's just life. So I noticed that, in the cache version of her Twitter account, she has 307. She's following 378, not people who are following her. She's following 378 people. This is from June 9th, so just 5 days ago, okay? And in 5 days, that's gone down by 2, which isn't terribly significant. So now she's following only 376, but it's her account. It's who she follows. So, and that doesn't necessarily mean she had to unfollow them. It could be 2 accounts that basically just deleted their accounts. There's also ways to get people to unfollow you. I mean, it's not that difficult. I don't know if you're aware. You can block somebody and then unblock them, and then they, even if, that's if, I don't know, actually. That's if they're following you and you don't want them to follow you, but, you could block them. But that's, I don't know. I don't know if that's the other reverse. No, but now I know what I was thinking. But if you were that person, if you were one of those one of the 2 persons who are, didn't want her following you, you could do that to her. You could block her and then unblock her, or just block her in general, and she won't be following you anymore. So it could be 2 accounts that got deleted, that have been shadow banned, that blocked her. But also, so but it's not a lot of accounts, 376. So any of those explanations are reasonable, but it could be somebody that doesn't want, law enforcement to know she was following them, or they just have her phone and her account and they just unfollowed, from her account. But also I noticed from my own, and it could be totally innocent. It probably is. It's totally just random, probably. But the tweets from her account, in conjunction with what I'm showing you here, I don't know, just piques my interest a little bit. In my own video that I made about her account, back then it was 381. So in the time that I made this, which was April 22nd, she went 27th. She went missing the 27th. I made it 27th. She went missing the 22nd. She stopped following 5 people. 5 out of 381, from 381 to 378 to 376 now. And that's the story there, man. It's been quite a while, and who knows? You just never know. You just hope that she could come home safely. That would be wonderful. And that's the story there. Thanks for watching my videos. Please subscribe to my channel. Give me a like down below. I'll see you in the next video. Later, man.